because there are challenges right now, Mr. Speaker, in terms of the change of policy to centrally procure learning material, particularly books, to schools. I have received complaints from head teachers in my county that some schools have had to receive books which they don't really need. A school is not doing Islamic studies and is being given books on Islamic studies, really. That's a waste. So, Mr. Speaker, the idea to change the policy to centralized procurement may have been inspired by the need to have a centralized accountability on the procurement process. But that, in a way, it's going to create more problems than the system that was there before. So I think the Committee on Education needs to really reflect on this matter, look at all the possibilities, look at all the loopholes, and report to this House so that, if possible, we should actually revert to the system that was there before, which was that every school could handle procurement of its learning material. Mr. Speaker, let me also comment on the issue of establishment of an embassy in Morocco. Mr. Speaker, this issue of having an embassy in Morocco is long overdue. And there is no justification at all for Kenya government not to have an embassy in Morocco. Because all the leading economies in Africa, they all have embassies in Morocco. Start with Nigeria, South Africa, Egypt, Ethiopia, Algeria. They all have embassies in Morocco because Morocco is a big economy and Morocco is a flourishing economy, which this country really needs to benefit from having a diplomatic engagement with Morocco. So there is no justification not to have. But I'm aware, Mr. Speaker, the government is trying to quietly establish an office in Morocco. But, Mr. Speaker, as a standard, I think it's important for that process to be processed through Parliament so that Parliament gives an approval for the establishment of embassies in such strategic countries. Mr. Speaker, coming to the issue of the PS for Foreign Affairs, I have heard Senator Khalwale trying to defend the PS. I think there is no justification in what he did. When we have high-ranking government officials resorting to exchanging on social media, then there is a problem. And Mr. Speaker, the PS would easily have taken his phone and called you. Instead of now going to respond to you on social media. That is unacceptable, and we are seeing this trend emerge in this current government. We have seen the behavior of the CS Moses Kuria on social media and others. I mean, there should be a better way of communicating within government. So there is no justification in what the PS did. And Mr. Speaker, Parliament plays a big role in foreign policy implementation. After all the treaties that we engage in as a country are ratified by this House. So when the PS gives an impression that the Parliament and Senate has no role in engaging on diplomatic mission, Mr. Speaker, that is misconduct. And if it was another country, that PS would be at home by now, Mr. Speaker. He will be at home, I'm telling you. If this thing happened during President Moi's time, by 1 o'clock news, we would hear that the PS has been sacked. So this crippling indiscipline in government, Mr. Speaker, I think is something that we need to deal with as a House, and there is no justification in what the PS did. But, Mr. Speaker, this is a problem of giving responsibility to people who have no civil service experience. They will always do things in this manner. Serious ministries like Foreign Affairs require serious, experienced civil servants who are also diplomats, Mr. Speaker. So Mr. Speaker, I want to
What is your point of order, Senator Bony?
Mr. Speaker, is it in order, rising on Standing Order number 105, for the member to impute improper motives on our civil servants when he knows that Abraham Singoe, doctor, was not only vetted for by the National Assembly, but that this is a distinguished lawyer with a doctorate in law. And Mr. Speaker,
Senator Bony, what is your point of order?
The point of order is
information. Very good information you're giving. It's not a point of order. So choose. Are you on a point of information or a point of order?
Yes,
Are you informing Senator Osotsi of the resume of the PS, or are you calling to order the honorable senator who was speaking?
It's a thin line, Mr. Speaker.
You can't do both.
Mr. Speaker, it's a thin line. Under 105...
The line can never be thin, Senator.
Under our standing orders, Mr. Speaker, with due respect, 105 expects that members should be guided by the factuality of what they are speaking to.
Senator Bony, that's why I'm asking you.
Yes.
Are you on a point of order or you are on a point of information? Just pick one and proceed.
A point of order.
Okay. What is this that is out of order?
He's misleading the House that Dr. Abraham Singoe is not competent enough to be our principal secretary, when in fact the education Ibrahim has, the district senator from Iga can only dream about it. He doesn't even have even 20% of that. We need to appreciate the quality of professionalism in our government of Kenya Kwanza, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Osotsi,
Mr. Speaker, Bony Khalwale is just wasting my time. And I want to tell Bony Khalwale that I am also learned. I have a degree in computer science. I have a master's degree in computer science. I have an MBA. I have more degrees than Bony Khalwale. So don't say that I can only dream of...
Honorable senators. Honorable senators. At this rate, I may require every one of you. Order, Senator Bony. Kindly, Senator Osotsi, abandon that line of argument and proceed to prosecute your contribution and conclude, please. Yeah. Senator Bony, we are veering off the subject matter. Kindly proceed to...
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, I think the PS for Foreign Affairs deserves to apologize to you as a Speaker of this House and to this House. Because in the ranking order, Mr. Speaker, you are too senior. In fact, I would have forgiven the Ministry of Foreign Affairs if maybe that statement was written by Prime Cabinet Secretary and the CS for Foreign Affairs. That is your level, Mr. Speaker, but not a junior officer.